Hey everyone, and welcome to this month's Solve Critiques. Remember, if you want to get your solves critiqued, you can go to patreon.com/jperm. In the first scramble on the white cross, the green piece is already done, red is over here almost done, and then orange and blue. The first thing you did was solve red into the back like this, that way you didn't have to rotate to solve orange and blue. Next, you align the cross so that orange can go into the correct spot relative to the other cross pieces, and then you also put blue on top of orange so they can go in together. Then you put them in like this, and then align the cross. The cross solution was quite good, but the finger tricks could have been a little bit better. To insert the red piece, it was good that you did it from this angle, although you used your ring and middle finger. I personally don't usually recommend this. There are situations where it's okay, but it's generally better if you hold the cube with your middle finger and do ring and pinky or pinky and ring. The reason is if you do a right-handed B2 here, then the best way to continue the cross solution is to do F here to set up these like this. That way the whole cross solution basically has one regrip that costs time. Now this solve was slower than your other solves, and mainly just because you did a lot of cube rotations in F2L and had trouble finding pieces and not choosing the right pair to go for. What you did here was interesting because it's not obvious what first pair you have to work with here, and the first way you looked was actually to this side, which takes more of a rotation. Your first plan before doing cube rotations when you have trouble with look ahead should be doing U moves. Now, this one becomes obvious, there's also one right here, and you wouldn't have to go with what you did, which was orange-green, and this one. So what you ended up doing was a rotation to help you find this. So rotations should not be used to help find pieces, only to help you solve. So what you did here then was solve these two like this, taking them out, and then inserting them into the back. There's actually a really great trick for this F12 pair that saves a rotation and moves, and that's by moving this back here and then do R. And then this sets them up as a pair ready to go, and then you can just insert them using these finger tricks, and then R prime to restore this cross edge. After your solution, again, it's not obvious what pair to go for next, so here you did a cube rotation to help you find pieces. Again, start with U moves, as that can help you find pieces right away. But here, since you had this slotted pair, you started by rotating left to find pieces, and you found this, which you solved from here, so that's a Y2 rotation, and then solved it like this. Here, I would say these two make the most obvious pair, but you somehow went for these two. So you did this pair, and pretty much the same idea from before. You could do this thing I talked about, but the mirror. But then you did it like this. And then you had this pair last, which you solved like this. Next we have this OLL, which you did like this. And then here you regripped for U, and then regrip again to do this part of the OLL. Since your hand was already in this grip, do U with the other hand. That saves you 2 regrips for this OLL. And then for this A-perm, you did a cube rotation, but you could recognize from here already and just do it like this, and that saves you the cube rotation. In the scramble, you went for the yellow cross, so red is done, green, orange, and blue. So you started by moving red over to put in green, and then move this over to put in orange, and next is blue, which you did by rotating to put it in here, like this, and then align the cross. The first way this cross could have been better is if you go through with the way you did green and orange, then now for blue, you don't have to do a cube rotation because you can just do a D move instead, and that pretty much accomplishes the same thing. Then you just put blue in here the same way you did and align the cross. But this cross would have been a lot better if you just start by facing green, and that makes blue a much better solution. So here we're going to do the same thing you did, just facing green. So move red and put green in, then put orange in, but on the way in for orange, you just set blue on top of it, like this, and then align the cross. Or take out the pair and align the cross. Now for F12, again, the idea I talked about last solve, not doing cube rotations, but doing U moves if you don't see what to do. So we have this pair that you could do if you did a U move to help you see what this is. But you ended up going for a cube rotation, looking at what this edge is, if it goes with this corner, and then it was this one. So then you ended up doing a Y2 to do this pair. Next was this pair, and what you did was rotate this way and then solve it like this. Except I know you know how to do U2 moves, but you've been doing it as U sometimes. I think that's just a bad habit, so make sure you replace those with U2 whenever you can. Instead, from here, make sure you have the habit of rotating so it's a back slot. That way you have open front slots, and that makes the rest of the solve easier. You ended up facing this side, and everything's pretty much invisible from here, so it makes sense you went for a cube rotation. You saw this, and then you cube rotated again, and paired them up like this, and then inserted it with, starting with the U3, probably a bad habit, and then inserted it here. From this angle, you can just move them like this and then pair them up like that. After this pair, instead of really seeing what this is, which you could have done using U moves again, so what you did here was rotate, and that helped you see it. You put it here, and then you rotated. So you rotated this way, so that's another double rotation, and that adds up to a lot of rotations to solve. Then you solve them like this. There's a great way to solve it from here that's a lot of moves, but it is faster, and that's by putting the edge in and then solving this case. So that would look like this. Then for OLL, again, cube rotation here is not necessary. Just do a U-turn for how you start this OLL, but you started it like this, and then into this OLL, and this isn't great, but I don't know if this is 2-look OLL or if it's just the OLL you use, but if you actually use that as your alg, then you should probably change it. And then cube rotation here to start the J-perm from here, but you could just start it from here, and this would actually just save you the cube rotation. Here you did the white cross, orange is done, and we have red, blue, and green. So you started by doing green, so you faced red and did D prime, putting green like this, and then D prime and here. I think you may have just forgotten what to do, but you ended up looking around, saw red, and did this into the back. And then blue, similar idea to the previous solve, you ended up rotating, inserting here, and then D2. Almost exactly the same as the last cross. You could have made this better by doing a few things. So first, you did D prime, F prime. This isn't very good. Instead, start by facing green and do D prime, L prime, which has easier finger tricks. So again, we're facing the side that lets you do more L and R moves instead of front and back moves. So then after green, you have red here, which you can then do with R2, which is easier. And then blue is right here, so you can actually put it in together with red since you're facing the side. Then after the cross, again, you have this habit of looking to the right side to help you find pieces. And that resulted in a cube rotation to start when here you actually had a really good pair you could have started with. So you did the cube rotation and then solved this pair, which is not a great pair. Generally, if you start out your F12 with cases that are this bad, it means you probably could have chosen a better pair as there are so many options. So you solved this pair like this, and then solved red-blue. This was good. And then this was not a good pair, so what you did was solve the other pair instead right here. This could have been done without a cube rotation, and how you would do that is put them here, and then how you'd actually notice that this pair is where it is by noticing that this is the only possible piece that can even go with this one. Every other edge on top is yellow, and it's not over here. This is doing look ahead and reducing rotations using deduction, which is not actually seeing the whole piece, but figuring out what it must be based on what everything else is. This is, of course, a lot more advanced, and I go more in depth into this in some other critiques, but for you, the most important thing is still just reducing rotations. So you ended up solving this with a rotation right here. And then coming back to this pair, you can again save a rotation, as the way you do this pair pretty much would always have a rotation anyway. So what you can do right now is just take it out into an OK case and then rotate and solve this case. But what you ended up doing was coming here and doing U and then solving this like this, and then insert. And for this case, there actually is an algorithm you could use instead that saves the rotation, and it's not really intuitive. So how it would go is like this. Take this out like this, and then solve this case using this algorithm. I've shown this in F12 tricks videos before. I usually show it as a front slot in one of these two angles, but it's only R and U or L and U moves however you do it, which means you can always mirror it to the back. Then for OLL, remember, just do U moves. You don't have to do the cube rotation. And then PLL. In this solve, you did the yellow cross, so red here is solved, blue, green, and orange. You started by facing orange, and you inserted blue by doing D, put in blue, and then D, and now put in orange into the back. And then next, D, and for some reason a cube rotation, followed by green. For this cross solution, the exact same ideas as the previous two solves would have made it better, and you can try to figure that out for yourself. Now here, red-green is paired. I don't think you noticed it, but you went for red-blue, which is pretty much just as good here. And then now here is red-green, and you actually did orange-blue, which is good. So over here, and here it doesn't matter that you inserted it into a front slot, as front or back slot, you end up with one side not solved. Now here was a little bit strange. For orange and green, they're set up, and you can just insert it here. And the rest of F2L is rotationless. And if you just did this, this would have been the same F2L solution you ended up doing. But very often when you solve a pair, you end up doing a preemptive cube rotation. And I think this is a very common bad habit, because if you don't know what to do next, then sometimes the cube rotation feels like you're doing something, and in this case helps you see more stuff. So it doesn't feel like such a bad thing to do, but it is quite a bad habit. So you ended up going for a Y2 cube rotation before solving this pair. And then for this one, you did a preemptive cube rotation again facing this side, which means you cannot solve this pair anymore from this angle. So you ended up doing another cube rotation to solve this into the back. So that was an extra 4 cube rotations that were all not necessary. Then next here is 2 look OLL, so the cross, and then here you did a cube rotation, not necessary, and then F perm. In this last scramble, you did the white cross. So red is solved, green, blue, and orange here. You started with L prime, and the only reason I can imagine why you did this was to preserve this pair. So that works. And then you solved orange like this and realized you had to rotate to get blue and green to be better. So in the planning for this cross, you could have started by facing either blue or green, and the whole thing would have worked out better. So here you ended up solving blue into here, and then green into here, and align the cross. So again, similar ideas to before, try to get your cross solution to start so that you maximize L and R moves rather than F and B moves. It seems like in this cross solution, you realized partway through the solution, it would have been better to rotate when you could have done that in the beginning of the solve. So next, of course, you inserted this pair that you had planned. It's better here to insert into the back to help you see more pieces, but you did it from here. And then now you have this pair and this pair in the top layer. Both are good pairs to work with. You went with this one. And what you did here was a rotation that was not necessary. So you ended up putting them here to pair them up and then inserted them over here. Next, again, is a similar situation with this pair and this pair. And besides this one just being a little bit easier here, this one actually doesn't need a rotation while this one does. But given the order you chose, what you ended up doing was fine. And what I recommend here is just being able to tell when it's going to be a rotationless or a pair that needs a rotation, because right now, since you currently do more rotations than necessary, I think it would really help if you were able to identify when it's which one. And for that, I recommend watching this video I have here that I'll also link in the description that tells you how to identify whether a pair needs or doesn't need a rotation. And generally that will just mean 1 rotation or 0, which will save you a lot. All right, then for this OLL, you did this. And then PLL is J-perm. So for you, the main things to work on, one is as you make the cross, you want to think about finger tricks, and the main thing for you is just making sure you pick the side that maximizes L and R moves rather than picking to face a side that maximizes F or B turns. When you start F2L, you have the habit of looking at the front and the right. Make sure you also look at the left and also do U moves to help you reduce cube rotations, and then you'll be able to find pieces much more easily without so many cube rotations. Remember, cube rotations are not for finding pieces, they're only to help you solve pieces if they require it. And speaking of cube rotations, after you solve an F12 pair, don't be afraid to just pause for a moment and really take in what you should be doing next. This may not lead to your fastest solutions right now, but it'll lead to much better habits that lead to better solutions later on. So no preemptive cube rotations to help you find pieces when you're unsure. Instead, just wait for a moment and see if you can find stuff, and then solve it if it doesn't need a cube rotation. And then for OLL and PLL, don't do cube rotations at all unless it's part of the algorithm. Just do U moves, as it's pretty much always faster. To find bad habits in your solves, the best way to do that is through very slow solves where you think a lot. And once you know how to fix the bad habit, you want to practice that into your timed solves by turning slightly slower so you can't go full autopilot. So that's it for this critique. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.